Good morning, Hojo staff, students, and families. Ya'atevin. Welcome to Monday, September 8th. And we're ready to start our day, so everybody please stand. Place your right hand over your heart. Our voices are off and our bodies are still as we stand respectfully. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. We, the people of the United States, in order to form a more perfect union, establish justice, ensure domestic tranquility, provide for the common defense, promote the general welfare, and secure the blessings of liberty to ourselves and our posterity, do ordain and establish this Constitution for the United States of America. Well, good morning, everybody. Welcome to Monday. I keep doing that. Today is Tuesday, September 8th. Sorry about that, everybody. It's Tuesday. Feels like Monday because it's the first day of the week, but it's Tuesday. We had Labor Day yesterday, so we had a holiday. And today is the first day that we have some students who are starting to return. If you're in kindergarten through third grade and want a couple of days a week at school, we can do that. Or if you have special reasons to be at school, and your parents and I can talk about that and see if there's a way that we can make it arrangement if you need to be at school. So parents, if you would like your child to be at school for, 1 or 2 days a week, right now we have a 5-to-1 ratio, which makes it challenging when you have 400 students to make sure that everybody gets a little bit of time. But some families still want to be fully remote right now, and that's okay too. So, but let's get started with some music. You know, yesterday was Labor Day, and I wanted to play a selection for you, but it's in a different system. So let's just listen to something in this system, and then I'll play that in a little bit. Okay. Well, how about this one? We need the Force to be with us today. Is that the principal marching song coming down the hallway? No. What is it? The Imperial March. That's right, by John Williams. And the reason it's familiar, it's from Star Wars, right? That's why we said the Force will be with us today. Okay, how about this selection? What a difference in the sound, right? That marching song coming down the hallway, you know, my black cape on. Or listening to this song, it's very soft, right? It can put you in a different mood. Music has the power to do that. Okay, what were we listening to? That was Beethoven. If you said Beethoven, you're right. And the name of the piece was Für Elise. Yes. So Mrs. Neff has made another selection for us this week. And since I already have it loaded up, I wanted to play one other selection for you too. Usually I end with the piece for the week, but I want to play another selection for you. But this is the piece for the week. This is something new. Listen carefully to this one. How about that, friends? That is one fast-moving piece. This piece is called Flight of the Bumblebee, and it was written by a Russian composer at the turn of the night, when we went to 1900 from 18, usually we said turn of the century, but now we've had 2 centuries since I was born, so formerly we used to say the turn of the century. But 1900, about 1900, it was composed in an opera called The Tale of the Tsar Sultan. And this was just a little piece within that opera, but it's called The Flight of the Bumblebee. And if you listen to it, it does sound like a bumblebee is buzzing around, doesn't it? And it's by Nikolai Rimsky-Korsakov. Nikolai Rimsky-Korsakov. It's Flight of the Bumblebee. So let's listen to it one more time. See if it sounds like a bumblebee flying in the air to you. How about that? Flight of the Bumblebee. And Mrs. Neff has it posted on our YouTube channel, so you can actually see the Russian trio folk group that's playing this with instruments that I've never seen before. Well, I've seen an accordion before, but the other two I'm not sure what they even are. So it's very interesting to watch it. So go ahead and do that if you would like. There was another piece I wanted to play because it was Labor Day. And let's see if I can find it here. And it's one we haven't talked about this year. We played it at the end of last year, but we haven't talked about it since then. I hope this is it. Oh, forget it. If we have to have a commercial, forget it. We'll have to load that up later. I'll play it for you tomorrow if I can. So, little suspense. Hang on till tomorrow for that one. Okay, so Flight of the Bumblebee. Did you know that for a long time, scientists did not know how a bumblebee was able to fly? They said it was not possible because their bodies are so round and big and their wings were so small that according to their calculations about flight, a bumblebee should not be able to fly. But do you know, nobody told the bumblebee that, and so the bumblebee just kept on flying. So sometimes things seem impossible are actually possible. So if you believe in it, or if you don't listen to the negativity. So if you ever think that there's something that you can't do, think of the bumblebee. And the Flight of the Bumblebee is what we are listening to this week. Flight of the Bumblebee. Okay, so for a poem, this week we've chosen a Robert Louis Stevenson poem. It is from the 2nd grade collection. So if you are a 2nd grader this year, then you would have had to memorize it. If you are a 2nd grader from last year, the year before, perhaps you remember it. And if you do, then say it with me. It's called Bed in Summer by Robert Louis Stevenson. In winter, I get up at night and dress by yellow candlelight. In summer, quite the other way, I have to go to bed by day. I have to go to bed and see the birds are hopping on the tree, or hear the grown-ups people's feet still going past me in the street. And does it not seem hard to you when all the sky is clear and blue, and I should like so much to play, to have to go to bed by day? Have you noticed that in your young lives, that sometimes in the summer the days in the summer are much, much longer because we have more daylight? It's actually the same amount of time, it's just how much daylight is there. And so Robert Louis Stevenson is talking about in winter, it makes sense to go to bed when it's dark out, but when it's summer and it's time for bed and it's still light out, it's hard to go to bed because you want to get up and play and other people are out and about. So that's an observation that Robert Louis Stevenson was making about having to go to bed during the summer. But he was probably an adult when he wrote this, but thinking back to being a kid or looking at it through the eyes of a child, when it's daylight out, we want to play. Okay, so for artwork, I'm going back to a familiar artist for a special reason I'll explain later in the week. So over my shoulder is Winslow Homer's Crack the Whip. Hopefully you can see that. And I'm going to show you another painting by Winslow Homer. It's called Nor'easter. And this is Nor'easter. You can see the rocks and the ocean. We don't have a lot of those kind of views, do we, from New Mexico? Not a lot of ocean views here, right? Because we're landlocked. But Nor'easter by Winslow Homer. Crack the Whip behind me by Winslow Homer. So last week I had shown you some pictures of some paintings and drawings done by Leonardo da Vinci. We kind of did the whole week of Leonardo da Vinci. And so I thought maybe we'll do a whole week of an artist and just show you different selections from that artist so that we get to learn a little bit more about the artist. So remember last week, who was our artist? Our artist was Leonardo da Vinci, right? Ginevra da Benci was this one. Vitruvian Man, art, philosophy, science, all tied up in this one. This one was the Last Supper, and don't forget the Mona Lisa. She's off taking a rest today. Okay, friends, next we have some artwork from architecture. So we don't forget, we have front of the White House, back of the White House, U.S. Capitol building. Hopefully you're saying these out loud and I'm not saying these to myself. Washington Monument, that's right. And this week we're going to add another. How about this? Does anyone know what this is? You see this building? It's sort of at dusk, so the lights are on. Somebody's sitting right here in a chair. Do you know who this is? This is the Lincoln Memorial, and that's Lincoln, and a statue of Lincoln sitting, not actually Lincoln, obviously. It's a statue of Lincoln sitting in a chair inside the Lincoln Memorial. Nice. Remember our friends, the Gettysburg Address, 77 years ago? Our fathers brought forth in this continent a new nation, conceived in liberty, and dedicated the proposition that all men are created equal. Okay, we're going to cover that some more this week. And for another good reason. This is the week of September 11th, and the Gettysburg Address during memorial services is often read at Ground Zero because of the tragedy that happened in New York on 9/11/2001. So that's this week. So you may hear about the Gettysburg Address being reread at Ground Zero. But we know that here because we practiced it and we've learned it together. So we'll be adding to that a little bit as we go through this week and practicing it some more. No birthdays today that are on my list anyway. So happy on birthday, everyone. Like I said, today is the first day for students to return to school for at least a half day, maybe once or twice a week. If that's something that you want to do, parents, you can reach out to me. If you want to wait a little bit longer, that's fine too. And for those families who requested a hotspot, they are in, and I will be reaching out to you individually to set up a time to come in and pick that up and go over the directions on how to use it. So that is all we have for announcements today. So let's do our student pledge. I will do the good, I will learn the true, and I will love the beautiful. And I hope you have a great day today.